A street-smart Detroit detective goes to California to solve his friend's murder and clashes with the local rules. Welcome back down to the bar, going through Kev's 100 favourite films of all time. We're up to number 65 now, with that description. Goes to California on his holiday to find out.
I'm on vacation.
Let's. He's only got 10 days vacation. He uses it. I would hope the same from you. But obviously, with that description, we are here today to talk about 1984's Beverly Hills Cop, starring Eddie Murphy, directed by Martin Brest. Did ridiculous money. It was $13 million budget.
Oh, really?
Made $316 million gross. Wow. I think in like various kind of records for inflation adjusted, I think this is still like a top 3 R-rated comedy box office.
Really?
Maybe a bit less now with the hangovers, but I think like literally, I think it's one of the highest grossing like 18 movies ever if you put in inflation. I mean, there's a lot of inflation. Anything before 2008 now, inflation adjusted is just crazy. You're like, oh god, that did really well. Is that inflation?
Well, but I guess that's the concern, isn't it? That you used to be able to go to the cinema for like tuppence or something, and now it's like £15. So that's the benefit of inflation.
A hotel in Beverly Hills costing $235 seemed really expensive in 1984. Whereas now you'd be like, is that an Airbnb or something? This is a bit dodgy. It's cheap.
What's happened? That's funny, isn't it?
Yeah.
So wow, because. I guess he'd have done a couple of movies before then, and obviously he would have been huge on the like the stand-up side. But he would have been like, would he have been a guaranteed bankable actor? I wouldn't necessarily have said then.
No. This was really his first. This is Eddie Murphy's first like starring role, really. So he had done 48 Hours and Trading Places before this. Obviously, he was massive on Saturday Night Live. But both of those are kind of. Both of those, Trading Places, is basically a Dan Aykroyd movie, with Eddie Murphy, and I would say 48 Hours is like a cop buddy movie that is, the template for that is quite there.
Yeah.
This is his first one,
isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's a big name at the time for sure. Or big name now. Well, let's not limit ourselves. He's 24 in this film, which just seems ridiculous. Like already, because he's got so much presence. We'll definitely talk about it afterwards. But 24.
Jesse Eisenberg was 25, I think, right? So there you go.
Yeah,
not quite the same presence on screen. But different.
I know which one I would be backing to survive a zombie apocalypse. I'm not sure it's Jesse.
True. This is true. Yes. Whereas, if I wanted one person, if there was only one person, if I was on a desert island and there was only one person, he could make an entire film by himself and do all the characters. So that's the other option. So
he gets some voices, which we'll definitely go into. So, for me, like growing up, this was kind of always on. I think you know what? I think we had 48 Hours and Beverly Hills Cop 2 on video. So I kind of watched those more. So I was always like a Beverly Hills Cop 2 person more just because we had it on video. So I've definitely seen that one more. I would also say, watching it this time, I definitely had only ever seen this as a TV movie. Because obviously the language gets quite extreme, and definitely hadn't heard like half of the swear words that were in it.
The opening after the initial lorry scene, which we'll talk about, is just crazy. It is just like the captain is just it's F-bomb central and everything, isn't it? It's just every third word. It's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's that was the great thing. You could watch films like this, and they were edited and cut for TV. So I probably watched this when I was like 10, and it was quite grown up, but at the same time, like, you could watch it and it was a little bit more, it's a little bit more grown up. So
that's true. Actually, you're right. Whereas like nowadays, it'd just be authentic and it'd be on Netflix. So there wouldn't be like a kids or like a TV version that you could still sort of watch with kids like nearby or in the vicinity. I also don't remember. I mean, this isn't. I should ask you because this just could be my memory. But the opening, like first bit, like so when he then meets his friend, they go to the pool hall and then they come back. Eddie Murphy gets hit on the back of the head and then the other guy gets shot. I'm like, I don't remember seeing him get blatantly shot in the head twice.
Yeah,
I was like, I don't remember that ever happening. I was like, this feels like surely you just like hear the bangs and you presume, right, and then you see him on the floor, but like you actually see it, like.
But definitely. Like I think they probably just put the bangs in when they're like showing the guy doing it. But you see the back of the head, don't you? Go a couple of times, which is way more graphic.
It was proper crazy, But
but like definitely kind of always remembered this very fondly. Eddie Murphy kind of cooking and sort of Eddie Murphy. I think because again, he obviously peaked, I think, a little bit before our time, but almost because of the way that like video and stuff worked back in the day, then actually like finding out about him in like the early 90s, but watching the stuff from the mid 80s, that's just kind of how long media kind of took. So I kind of feel like I wasn't there at the time watching him in the cinema, because obviously I'd been like 6, but at the same time like like this, and then coming to America, and like all of those films that we had in the sort of beginning of the 90s, almost felt like, Eddie Murphy's still like, one of the stars growing up, because that was just the way the videos worked, because it was on such a delay.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it didn't feel like It didn't feel like he wasn't part of that era. But actually, if you do look at the films, he probably wasn't, was he? He was probably beforehand, and especially with SNL as well. That would definitely be before our time when he was on that. So
but that's kind of the funny thing as well, because obviously over here in the UK, you didn't and you couldn't sort of do research. I didn't know anything about SNL, so. Yeah, for us, he was just basically a movie star, and then I think I kind of became a bit more aware of his stand up, and I think I watched a couple of his stand up specials, sort of early 90s as well. But then as these things kind of crash all together, I kind of watched them at the same time as I watched a lot of the Richard Pryor stuff, and it sort of seemed quite similar, because you're just kind of watching at the same time. And obviously, he had a lot of influence from Richard Pryor, right? So, like, I'm sure you sort of watching them like in sequential order, there would be more difference, but like, kind of discovering all at the same time.
It feels a bit,
didn't as much.
It felt more samey. You're right. Like, we definitely would have thought of him as a movie star, wouldn't we? I wouldn't even thought of him as a comedian, which is funny to think now, because you're like, he was basically a comedian, and we'd be like, no, he's a movie star. So it's fun, isn't it, to think about that? Because nowadays, like, you'd never be able to make that mistake, because everyone knows.
Yeah, well, you do the research, and you know the backgrounds of the actors way more. And then, funnily enough, we watched Meet Dave the other day with Poppy, where he's the alien inside the alien, and she was like, "Oh, I recognize him from stuff," and we couldn't figure out where she knew him from. But like, I was like, "Yeah, it's Eddie Murphy," and she was like, "Oh yeah, I definitely recognize him from something."
The Christmas one,
but
it's got to be the Christmas show, isn't it? What was that? Candy Cane Lane.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. All roads come back to Christmas.
He said about Shrek, maybe just the voice. Recognize the voice.
He has got a very distinctive voice, hasn't he? And it
and
works
I think maybe even Dr. Dolittle a little bit, but
she might have seen that.
Well, what about you then? 60, 65. It's it's time to
reasonable.
Get up there.
You'd imagine I'd remember quite a bit about it, but I think maybe I was thinking about this today. I was thinking that maybe you should ask me more. The first question should be, do you remember anything about this film? And then we just move on baby steps from there. But no, I do remember. Obviously, this was like you said, it's on TV. Obviously, as we've watched now, definitely the dumbed down version. But yeah, I mean, I always remember like definitely one or two being on TV like all the time. I guess when you're younger, they sort of merge into one a little bit. But yeah, just like the something, it felt like something quite different as well, right? Like it's like your standard 80s film where it still has some action in it, but a lot of it is just this guy like going around, I guess like a fish out of water, just doing these funny things and meeting these interesting different characters. And actually it was like something completely different from like that sort of cop film type of things for the 80s. So I think it was like really unique. And yeah, I just remember it like, being on TV and just being funny. And yeah, I mean, just it's the start of Eddie Murphy, isn't it? Like you said, he was just a great film star. And then we realized, oh no, he actually does comedy and stuff. So yeah, I mean, I think that was good. It was interesting researching about it and just finding out that, because I was like, I wonder who else was like potentially lined up for this. And then it said that Stallone and Mickey Rourke. And obviously it's always hard to picture someone else in an iconic role, but you're just like, God almighty, just Stallone. I mean, obviously it was designed, it was going to be a much different film, but it would just be so different, wouldn't it? It just would be like your bog standard normal, 80s film. And ironically, he then tries to do a Beverly Hills Cop in Stop or My Mum Will Shoot, and it's obviously awful. So yeah,
one of Rob's favorite movies. Yeah, well, really. Yeah, that's there. And obviously with like Cobra as well, I mean, like way more serious. And that's the thing, like it just would have been a completely different movie.
It would have been very different, wouldn't it?
If it's like serious and yeah.
And then interestingly, because I was then looking at like other bits and pieces,
he's done his research. He's done his research this week.
I know.
Bring it all out.
It's all coming out. I mean, we've hit 65 now. It's about time. But like looking at other movies that Eddie Murphy could have been in that he wasn't, and so he turned down Ghostbusters to be in this in Beverly Hills Cop, which I guess it's one of those things. It's one or the other. Both of them would have been a great success. And originally,
who would he have been in Ghostbusters?
He was Winston, but Dan Aykroyd had written the character specifically for Eddie Murphy after working with him on Trading Places, and it was a much bigger character. And then when Eddie Murphy turned it down, they pulled it back massively, and then obviously got someone else in. So
Winston.
So that would have been interesting, wouldn't it, to see like
how dispiriting that must be. You read this part and it's a really great part, and then they're like, actually, we don't think you can do this, so we're going to cut it.
Well, I imagine they probably cut it before they interviewed people or like cast people. I mean, you're right, you don't know, but yeah, obviously after they'd obviously worked together, he obviously thought that would be good. So that was one that he missed out on. The other one he said that he missed out on was is it Shanghai Noon or no, Rush Hour? They could have been in with Jackie Chan, which that sounds interesting. But the ultimate, which he said is one of the ones that he regrets the most about missing out on, was Who Framed Roger Rabbit. And I can actually picture him doing that. Like, I feel like he would have been great in that. And apparently he just couldn't get his head around how it would work or how it could work. And so he was just like, I can't see that that's going to be good or it's going to work. And so he didn't do it. And he now wished that he'd have done that. Can you imagine? I think he'd been great in Who Framed Roger. Can you imagine how good?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure would that have worked, because the great thing about it is that Hoskins is like
he's straight.
Yeah, and he's like the 1940s, like gumshoe. Yeah, I don't know with Eddie Murphy.
Yeah, straight laced.
Because he would just be tempted to do the voices and stuff like that too much, and I think that's why it works is Bob Hoskins is such the straight man, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, you are right. I mean, that'd be fun, wouldn't it? Imagine.
But like that was
I can't imagine him doing
98.
any karate or anything. That's the only thing. But,
the fight scenes. It's quite late though, isn't it? Rush Hour 98. That's around Dr. Dolittle and like the Nutty Professor and stuff. So he has a run of bad films at the end of the 90s. Let's not pull punches, but
there you go. So
Rush
funny
Hours.
is that how things work out, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I think it's for this or Ghostbusters. I think this is a great decision on his part because obviously this is his movie
in the long run. Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah,
Ghostbusters
and then he gets
is
another
still an ensemble, right? So
and he wouldn't have been. I mean, I guess you might argue be a main one of four, but really it's Aykroyd and Murray, isn't it? Really, I mean, really, it's those two. So you're right. And then he gets obviously more films out of this as well. So does very well. Right up to was it 2024 or something? He got one with Netflix, which was a bit crazy, but.
I'm sure they're going to do like a Godfather 4 or something. Like every trilogy is going to have like just a money grab fourth
just a Netflix one
film, from Netflix where they've just paid a bunch of money for it, and it's just sad.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the 2024 one, as we said, but
I think I have watched it. But luckily, this is when not having a good memory comes into hand. I can't remember much about it, but I don't think it was, in the scheme of things of how awful you'd imagine it to be, I don't think it was horrifically terrible. I don't think it was great, but I think it was passable.
Nice.
The other thing I found out was that because the script had been rewritten so many times when Sly was in and then Mickey Rourke was in and all that anyway, and then when they finally get Eddie Murphy, when they started on the first day, the full script wasn't even finished and written. Which is why then Eddie Murphy does so many improv scenes, apparently, because it wasn't even written. So he's just like, let's just do it, and then improvs loads, and then obviously it works so well in the film, doesn't it? So there you go. It's the benefit of having a comedian from Saturday Night Live coming in to be a movie star.
Yeah. Well, I think it's we'll talk about the improvisation and all of the character stuff. I think it's good. So, what are you pouring out for yourself this week?
Well, I had to go for. I was trying to think of like an old school drink that would like from like the 80s, but also be sort of Beverly Hills. So sort of a bit, bit swanky. So weirdly, I was thinking about what's in it. So I've gone for an amaretto sour, but just realised again there's an egg white in it. I don't know why egg white keeps coming up in these drinks. But
so much protein.
Yes, but amaretto sour. I think that would be a good choice. Can imagine just sipping a couple of those while watching this. That would be quite nice.
Nice.
So, yeah. Nice. How about you?
Well, I went for more the Detroit bar, and keeping it real. So I just thought, just a rum and coke in a small glass that's probably a little bit dirty, with like one of those really tiny straws that you get,
dirty
like
ice,
super thin, and you're like, why have I got a straw that's this thin? Like this is just ridiculous.
And then randomly you keep using it, and you're like, why am I using this straw when it's completely useless?
This allows me to drink literally one sip every hour. With a glass of ice water with a straw next to it, because that's also what they give you at every bar in America. So
that is the standard.
More thinking the Detroit way.
Yeah, nice. Oh, look at that then. A bit of both sides then.
Yeah.
So, what did you think then? What was your reaction or your one word stroke sentence?
Banger.
There you go.
Finally,
they've been promised.
Finally, we're down to the bangers.
Finally, they arrive.
Yeah, no, I thought it was. I thought it was really good. It's funny, like as it started and it said a Don Simpson and Jerry Bruckheimer production. I was like, you know what? When I watched this for the first 100 times, I didn't know what that meant, and now I know what it means. And it means a complete ludicrous opening scene, smashing into stuff, and like an action.
So ridiculous.
Nothing flipped. There weren't any explosions, but it's just so out of kilter with the rest of the film.
Yeah,
where they were just like, "How should we start it? Should we just do a massive car chase and like smash up a bunch of cars?"
Yeah,
Sure.
and it's in the 80s, right? So it must be the actual lorry driver and actual cars, right? It can't be like a miniature or anything. So all those cars are getting absolutely destroyed and like burnt out. It was madness. I was like, why is this happening? Very funny.
No, it's just funny, and like doesn't really serve the plot at all. Like, okay, you know that he sort of takes chances, and he like, he goes undercover and stuff, but really, it doesn't really do anything at all. But
you're right.
It's sort of
it doesn't really make like I feel like that maybe that use of or knowing that is probably better in the other films. Like you're right, in this one, it doesn't really make that much difference because he doesn't really go undercover, right? Does he? Like everyone knows who he is. He goes and says to the villain straight away, like, "This is who I am." So, it's more. Yeah, that's funny, isn't it? Like, because they blend together. They just you're like, oh, yeah, this is handy knowing this.
We'll just introduce it. But I do think he is. I thought, like, watching it this time, I thought he's so good as the cop. Like, that's the thing. Like, obviously, he's got all of his comedy. He does all of the characters and stuff, which I do think, like, in other hands, could have got super annoying. Like, I imagine, like, a Mike Myers doing it or something like that, and you'd just be like, oh, is it another character he's doing? But he's so, like, natural using each of the characters when he's speaking to like the next person where he's trying to get them to do something like, and actually like I think I noticed it almost more this time how many he does. Like obviously you've got him like getting the hotel, you've got him in the customs place, you've got him like getting into the buffet, which he then wrecks the buffet. So like I was almost more aware of how many times he does it. But at the same time, I just completely buy him as a cop, like as a young, like doing what needs to get done, not really knowing or caring about the rules because he like is from the wrong side of the tracks. I just think like it would have been so easy for him not to have got that side, but he is like a convincing like rookie cocky cop, and I think that is actually like really really impressive for him to have pulled that off as well and not just like gone too much into the comedy.
Yeah, no, I think you're fair. I think you're right, and I wouldn't even thought about how young he was in it because it just seems like a flawless performance. Like he owns the screen like pretty much for the whole time, and then like when needed, he brings the others in, right? Like he doesn't hold the screen, but he does hold it, and I think that's something that's like so good in this film. He's definitely. I mean, obviously we'll get onto it, but I was going to say like the thing that I love the most about it is definitely his performance. He's like, he pulls this whole film together. It's brilliant. And it's a shame actually, like that, when you look at his filmography, that there aren't as many other like really good films. Like obviously you've got Beverly Hills Cop 2, as you said, very well. But then like, it sort of fades away a little bit, doesn't it? I mean, obviously you get
Coming to America, I think is, that's also a classic. But then, like after that,
fades away a little bit into just money films.
Yeah, and he almost becomes too famous in a way. So then, like him doing anything where he's not recognized, I don't know, just sort of, it just then doesn't kind of work as much. But I do feel like there's a movie, isn't there? Like there's a movie out there with him slightly older, but like, maybe being a mentor to someone else or something like that. Like he is actually, he's got really good acting chops, and maybe he's like, well, I don't really need to bother. So like, why bother? I'm quite happy with all of my money and my career that I've had. But like, exactly. I do think that there's something out there that's like actually like stretches him as an actor, and he's I think he's criminally underused in some ways.
Yeah, they were saying when I was looking at like the research and stuff, it was saying about how Spielberg really wanted him in like lots of like films in like the 80s and 90s, like more straight roles. So what was it? I can't remember what one of them was, but the other one was Amistad, and I was like, geez, can you imagine him being in Amistad? And he just decided he just wanted to do comedy films. He said, I think people just like to see me smile on screen. And so he decided, you know what, why not? I like that. Yeah. And, you know, I sort of, I think about him. I always think about Adam Sandler when I feel like they're both, obviously they're very different people and had different careers, but they just found their niche. They enjoyed what they were doing and then just went, I'm just going to keep doing this. And people loved it. They keep making money, so they just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So, you can't knock it.
Although it's interesting you say that, because Sandler also has that like being taken serious itch, hasn't he?
He's done that a little bit, hasn't he? Yeah, recently.
There's a few in there like Punch Drunk Love and there's a few in there, isn't there, where you're like, okay, you want to be like taken a bit more seriously. And fairly, maybe he's just like, no, I'm an entertainer. People love my movies. People love my characters. I'm happy with that. Which fair play to him. Like he's had a very good career.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's not poor, is he? So he's, and I'm sure he's had a lot of fun on sets. I mean, you can imagine some of those, you know, being on like 48 Hours and another 48 Hours with Nick Nolte, doing the Beverly Hills Cop like trilogy, Coming to America, you know, with Dan Aykroyd. Like, you know, I think you'd be on set and have some great fun, wouldn't you, with, you know, being on those films. So I'm sure you would have had a really good time. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, maybe he'll come into like a second sort of, I don't know, like, I mean, he's pretty good in that new Christmas movie. The Christmas movie is pretty good. Candy Cane Lane. Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you think like, there's definitely in Hollywood movies sort of, that sort of, older roles for men, especially like the Liam Neeson and like almost sort of, the pickup again, where you wonder, wonder whether he's, you know, he's going to get some more. Funny enough, that wasn't a very subtle joke, because he's just been in a movie called The Pickup, isn't he? It was an Amazon movie.
Oh, has he?
It, but
Look, you're ahead of the game. You don't even know it.
And then I do think that like this time as well, watching it, there's definitely sort of something about him and like all of the people that he interacts with, like all of the waiters and the concierge and the like valets and stuff. There is definitely sort of something where he can actually talk to like the people who are doing the job, and that's how he like, you know, gets around, like versus then the, you know, the people that own the art gallery and the criminals and stuff. I don't know. There's sort of something more in just like those, as you said, I think is really good. He doesn't try and steal the scene from anyone. So when he's with people, like he lets other people cook and like just sort of he doesn't sort of, he is very good again at like reacting and obviously like, you know, the way they say acting is just reacting, but like he's when there's just him and someone else on the screen, he's also just really good at, you know, helping them be better as well. And I think like especially like him and Jenny, like their banter back and forth, I think is just really good. Again, you completely buy that they are that they're friends from school, because they just have that like ease of banter and back and forth that you have when you're really good friends with people, right? And it's sort of, you know, both sort of having a go at each other, you know, about, are you still drive, you know, I remember when you drove that car, or you're not driving, I've seen your car, like stuff like that. It is just really a fun dynamic.
Yeah, it really feels like their scenes are really like ad-libbed completely, doesn't it? Like you said, like it just feels so natural. So it doesn't feel like it's scripted at all, which I mean, in this film, you actually just don't know. It may not have been scripted. But yeah, I think you're right. Like, it just seems so natural, and it really adds to the, you know, the flavor of the film, doesn't it? And yeah, I think, as you said, he doesn't ever like take the screen from anyone. He just sort of compliments and, you know, brings them through. And so I think that makes a big difference to the film. It's interesting.
Funny enough, it was, with all the ad-libbing, it was nominated for best screenplay Oscar. So
wow. I mean,
was it the screenplay or was it just how good it was at ad-libbing?
Yeah. No, I mean, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Considering it'd be like, hold on a minute, all the best lines were made up by me, so well, why should that be happening? But yeah. So did you? Because I know you said to me you might watch some of the others. Did you watch the second one in the end, or the third one afterwards?
I didn't. Yeah, no, I didn't get to it. But I thought this one had depth, more depth than I think I remembered, actually.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Billy is great in this as well. Again, like,
oh my God, he's so naive, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and so that's why you sort of buy that he helps him in the end. Is because like Taggart's like, oh Billy, what are you like? And he's such the clear like mess up of the squad and young and inexperienced and stuff like that. You know, the bit even when they're in the car,
the son of like some like like previous captain or something. So he's got the job.
This is why he's someone's nephew, isn't he? But like when they're in the car and he's like talking about the red meat or about drinking too much coffee and stuff like that, or even in the strip club. And it has to be said, like, is this one of the best strip club scenes of all time? Because I think there's so much going on there that is so great. The fact that he's taken them there, the fact that they've gone there, but then also like that's when there's a great moment in it where he says like no bullshit to Taggart, and like the lighting is really great because obviously it's going all around and it's on the girls, and then but then it like lights up his face and he has such a serious face on it and then Taggart like buys into it and moves, and it's so well done that like again like a great performance from Eddie where you're like he's so jokey and stuff like that, and then I mean why has he taken him to the strip club? I thought there was going to be like is there a tie-in to the actual baddies? And you're like,
we never find out, do we?
He's just he's just taking it there.
Because when he first looks round and you're like, he's going to look round and one of the baddies is going to be there, and it's like no, just two random guys have walked in, and you're like, why are we looking at these guys? I mean, who robs a strip club? I mean, who lets two guys in with shotguns into a strip club? That bouncer is going to get sacked.
I think everyone in the strip club knows those two people. I think it's like it's one of those things that they're like, let's rob this place. You're like, Dave, come on, pack it in. You've tried this 3 times. Just go home. But it's I mean, Phil, you changed, man. It's so funny. He does again. Like, that's a great scene. But again, like scene, Billy is so like, he's just watching the dancing, and then the whole like getting your dick hard bit. That and definitely, I'd never seen that before. No, like I'd never heard that dialogue before. That was definitely cut out of everything.
The TV version,
and the TV version. So.
Yeah. Well, that's fun, isn't it? So it means that we probably haven't really seen it since it was on TV, but it used to be on TV all the time. Exactly, so
I can still play it in my head, but it is the TV version.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's slightly different. Yeah. I mean, it was fun, wasn't it? And then also, I mean, obviously we'll get onto the scoring soon, but I wrote down 10 minutes in, 2 banging 80s songs already. So, I mean, if anything, you always say the greatest films, they need a soundtrack as well. You need to have a good song to fit into it, and it definitely has some great 80s songs in this as well.
Yeah, I mean, are you a bit worried that you've given me the soundtrack to scoring to do for both films?
No, I'm happy. Happy for you to do it.
Veto is coming.
No. I think it was just nice to have some good 80s songs in a movie. So I was just happy about that. The thing as well, I was thinking about the scene when he first goes to see the villain, and he's like obviously there, and he's like and they're both sort of playing off against each other, and then he obviously presses the button, security come and pick him up, and then it's his own building, I presume, and rather than push him back, like throw him out the door, like open the door and push him onto the floor, they throw him out the window and smash their own window. Surely those goons go back up, and he's like, what did you do? Why did you throw him out the window? I meant just get him out of the building. It's like, who's going to pay for that?
Did you get rid of him? Yeah, we did. We threw him through the window. What, our window? Well, now you have to go in. You have to go down to maintenance. You have to file a D11 form to get someone to come and replace it. Yeah,
just so silly, isn't it?
I think the whole villain, like Victor, God love him. That is just like that's a bit poor. It's a bit weak. I think he's like oh, Mikey died. Oh, really? Okay, that's sad. Can I help you with anything else? And you're just
way.
oh, you've given this away. And then to get all the goons and to throw him through his own window, you're just like, you're not being subtle here. Like, if there was any doubt, now it's you.
Yeah, we now know.
And then what's he wearing? He's wearing like a kimono or something. It just I never understood that. Where's his accent from? I got real like Demolition Man vibes. I think it almost feels like Demolition Man was based on this guy. Who's just like, what? What?
It was funny. What? I was thinking Double Impact as well. I was thinking, just not quite the strong enough villain, or even maybe a little bit Tango and Cash as well. You know, a little bit. Not overplayed as much as in Tango and Cash, though.
Maybe not. Yeah. No, it feels just a bit. A bit lacking. The villains are very underwritten, and you just like.
Yeah, I had that as like the thing I would change. Actually, I was like, I don't think, and it's funny, isn't it? Like, we said the same thing with Double Impact. Like, it was, you just don't. It's almost like in the 80s, they just worried about the hero, and you just didn't worry about the villain. You like, it's okay, it doesn't matter. But actually, a good villain obviously makes the film even better. So I feel like the villain, you're right, could definitely have been a little bit. I don't know, maybe a bit cheekier or something, or a bit whatever, or but
just kind of, has he lost some money on the horses or something? Like, why is he bringing in the barrel bonds? Feels like it's
classic 80s. Don't worry about any of that bit. No one knows.
Well, I love the fact that it's a Columbo movie, right? You know who's committed the murder at the start.
True.
So then it's just all about him finding out who's done it. So,
that is true. Very true. It's Columbo.
That's good. Yeah.
And that's probably why you like it so much. Yeah. There you go. Well, I guess we'd better get onto the scores then. So, all new this week.
The new way, First watch. So, what do you remember the first watch? Do you remember it having a big impact on you?
Yeah, I think first watch is. This is a big film. Like, I think it needs to be high. So for me, first watch, I've gone for 86. I think it's Would you have gone higher?
No, I think I think that's about right. I think it's I mean, back in the 80s, watching it as like an impressionable 10-year-old or something, it was.
Such a good film. You remember, like, and you're younger as well, like that opening, like, lorry scene, as crazy as it is, it was brilliant, right? You're like, what? It's just crashing and stuff. Eddie Murphy's on the chain, like, running, like, coming out of the lorry. And then the chief comes in and absolutely, I mean, obviously we don't see the full version in the TV version, but gives him an earful. It's off to a cracker before anything's happened. And then he gets to go to Beverly Hills. So, I think, And what about then rewatch then? What did you have for rewatch? Well, this will be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I had
the two scores together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, I had 85 for the rewatch.
Wow, well, I think that's fair.
I think it holds up. It's got like the pacing is really good. So
I agree.
I think it's a good one.
I didn't think there was anything there that I sort of thought was bad. What about level of romance then? Here we go. This is where we really this is a difficult
one. Yeah, it's a difficult one. Obviously, there's not a lot of romance in it. There's sort of so much lack of romance that obviously in a lot of the write-ups they do question whether he's gay, and like,
oh really?
Because there's no because just as a gay character with Mikey, because he doesn't like, there's zero chemistry with him and any of the women. I don't think it matters one way or the other. I think it could well have been, but the sort of the most romantic, or the regardless, when he sort of says, "Oh, you never like shot me in," and he says, "Oh, it's because I love you." Like, that is just a really poignant moment. Whether it's as a friend, whether it's as something more, I just love that moment, because he looks really serious, and like Eddie is almost sort of a bit taken aback, but like that shows why their bond is so strong, and why he would, take his 5 vacation days for the year to go and figure out who murdered him. Like, it is that point where he's like, you get how close they were as kids, like to do that. And I do think you do almost need that. Otherwise it's a bit like, well, because they don't explain it again. So otherwise it's a bit like, oh, so this guy's come back and then has gotten into trouble and then got shot. But like, who was he? Whereas with that story and him being like, no, I love you. Like, I love you, man. That's why I didn't turn you in. I think you need that to be able to,
because you got to, like, why would you still, exactly, go to the other side of wherever to, like, chase down who, these, master villains who obviously it's going to be dangerous and it's going to be problematic. But you're right. There's not much exploited outside of it, is it? But I'm going to be interested to see then. So with your little romance, tint that you have in life, in a film that has no romance, what are you going to give it?
So I gave it 19. It's not
okay.
Not a whole heap,
fair.
But like, I think it's an interesting question whether it is. I think there was sort of rumors that there was going to be a love plot with Jenny, but then in 1984 black people weren't allowed to kiss white people on screen, so then they had to veto it and stuff. Crazy. So but like, I don't know. That would have been that would have been weird. Their banter is really great, and they're like, I do really love their banter. Like the fact that she makes fun of him when he laughs as well, and like actually calls out that the laugh is ridiculous, I think is brilliant. So
that's good that gets on, isn't it?
Yeah. So what about action then? Is this? I mean, it's a Simpson Brockheimer production. How high is this going to be?
It's true. I mean, there is a good amount of action in it, but then also there is just moseying around. There's the buffet scene. There's the the hotel scene. So there's a lot of scenes where there isn't any like actual action, as I would call it. So I went for 66. I thought that was pretty reasonable. Like, it's a good amount, but not like an excessive amount. I think in the second one there's a lot more action. What I would call action.
Yeah.
So
I would have thought that was could have been a bit higher. But
could probably, I mean, obviously, I pay no attention to my previous scores, so that doesn't help. But I mean, could be a little bit higher maybe. But I mean, I don't think that obviously I am an action person, but I don't think, like there's some films, like I think we said like this, Escape from New York, sometimes the films don't need all the action, like other things sort of put it through. And I think obviously, even though, like I say, I'd say this more, I think this is more of a comedy film than an action film. And I think that does well from that. So here we go. This is what everyone's been wanting to wait for. Here we go. Two bangers in 10 minutes. So what are you giving the soundtrack?
So I've gone 89.
Oh, fair.
So it's massive. It's still under well, piece by piece, because obviously like that is just about music. I mean, Kill Bill, I think probably still better, and then Baby Driver. Because Baby Driver like the music. So, and then also Empire Strikes Back, but that's because you're ridiculous and you gave that 95, which is just a ridiculous score for a soundtrack.
But the thing is, with Star Wars, we just know it too well. But actually, if you think about it, we all know all of those songs. It's not just like it's like the start, the Empire's, even though like the baddies songs, or the sound, like it's so iconic that I think.
Can you just do the soundtrack from Star Wars right now off the top of your head?
Like is in the opening piece or is in the Darth Vader piece?
Yeah, any.
Either. Well, it's like no, I can't remember it now.
Exactly, and yet
no, I can do Axel F. I can't do it.
Right, all of us can do Axel F.
There you go. Yeah, no, I was starting to do the horse one.
You're going
too close
to
that
Ranger.
Yeah, Low Ranger, that's the one. But no, I mean, it's so iconic. Anyway, you give it 89. We're happy with that.
But that's almost my point. Is like, is Axel F actually the most dominant like score of the 80s, even though you've got Indiana Jones, you've got Star Wars, you've got, you know, all of those, but like Axel F,
I don't know,
everyone knew Axel F. Like everyone would learn how to play on the piano or the synth if you had a synth, but like everyone knows it. And I just think it's such an iconic score that like for our generation, I feel like when you talk about soundtracks, people are like, oh, Star Wars, blah, blah, blah. But then if you were like, what about Axel F? Everyone would be like, oh yeah. And everyone would instantly be able to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. It is. I mean, as soon as it kicked in, I was like, oh my God, this is great. So, yeah, it was good. I think 89's a good score. Can't deny that.
Yeah.
So this is working so well. I mean, why did it take us 65 episodes to get to...
you know, it always takes us a while to work out.
Yeah. So, best line for the pod?
No lines really for the pod. I do like when he corrects the captain and says, you know, the cost isn't really the point. I think it should be about my blatant disregard for authority. I think it's just such a great line. And then I would say, ain't falling for no banana in the tailpipe is still something that we just say around the house if we're talking about not getting sucked into something. And also we often quite say, is this the man who wrecked the buffet at the Harrow Club this morning? Like just whenever someone sounds super posh, we always do that. So
nice.
Yeah, stands up.
Yeah, there's some good lines in it, isn't there? Yeah,
for sure.
Oh wow.
Okay, wow. So the AI, again, the AI is struggling a little bit with the concept, but
two comedy gods. How have they messed this up?
So we've gone Beverly Hills Groundhog.
Oh my God.
Just to
give it away. I'm glad we're not offering free tickets to someone to guess what the combination is.
So Detroit cop Axel Foley chases a stolen art lead to Beverly Hills, gets stonewalled by the same snobby police captain and dies in a shootout on his first night, only to wake up that morning in his cheap motel room. The heat is on, blaring again. Trapped, reliving the same 24 hours, Axel starts using the loop to his advantage, memorizing the captain's schedule to win him over, learning the security guards' names to slip past them. Why would you slip past them if you knew their names? And mapping every move of the art smuggling crooks until he can predict their crime before it happens. Between resets, he keeps circling back to Jenny, the gallery curator, who's the only one who treats him like a person instead of a problem. Bit weird. And slowly the loop stops being about catching the bad guys and starts being about who he becomes in Beverly Hills. He finally breaks the cycle by outthinking the whole operation flawlessly, busting the smugglers, charming the captain and winning Jenny for real, earning the one day that gets to actually count. So I guess they've put the romance in that because Groundhog Day is about that.
It doesn't like, considering you've got two heavyweight comedy actors of the 80s, it feels like they could have done better there.
Exactly. Yeah.
But so what film is it then, Andy?
So unsurprisingly, it's Groundhog Day, which actually I think you put at number 11.
Yes,
so you're all in on Groundhog Day. So this will be interesting.
Big. Well, I mean, this is the funny thing actually now about now that we're doing both films with the same category, it makes it more interesting because I'm like,
this is a way better way to do this.
Yeah, it is. I know. I'm so glad it's taken us this long to work this out. Are we going to redo all the other episodes? Well, we've got at least 5 that we have to redo anyway, so there you go.
We'll get AI to go back and do it.
This actually is a great combo to have because both of these, I think, are great first watch. And it was very hard for me to think which one I think is better. But I think because it's slightly more maybe my era, and I don't know maybe if that's lead in or not, or just because it is a better film, I've gone 89 for Groundhog Day. I think Groundhog Day is a better first watch than this. I think they're both incredible. So yeah, that's what I've got. What would your choice have been? What do you think?
I think Groundhog Day. I think that's fair because I think Groundhog Day, like the first time that you watched it, like we hadn't seen repeat films before, and so it was just something completely new. Whereas we'd kind of seen a cop going around blowing stuff up, or not blowing stuff up. No, that's fair. For rewatch, I actually put it at 83.
Yeah,
which
fair.
still high, but like under Beverly
Hills
Cop.
Cop.
But like,
interesting.
Because like you can pick up other things, but like, yeah, I don't know. I think
I love rewatching Groundhog Day.
Yeah, I think I'd probably still rather rewatch Beverly Hills Cop.
Well,
to be honest with you.
Other than last year when we watched it, now that you've watched both these films for the podcast, which one had you previously seen before then? I mean, I already know the answer to this, but I'm just like,
I probably a better question would be, which one do I think I will rewatch sooner? That's how in my head
that
it
could
would
be
work.
Your better question. My question is still, by facts, what is the one that you've watched the most?
Which one did I watch the most? Yeah, probably watch Beverly Hills Cop the most.
Oh, lies. All right. Moving on then. Romance. So I guess this is going to be a landslide here.
Yeah. So 77. It was obviously like. I mean, it's all about it, isn't it? And I mean, as we think, I think as we said on the podcast, like it stops just a bit shy of creepy stalker. The fact that he tries the creepy stalker bit and then decides not to do it anymore, I think makes it better. So.
Yeah, just gets out at just about the right time.
Yeah, exactly.
Just about the right time.
Yeah. What about action then? Obviously the daring bank heist and catching the kid and before he falls.
Yes, taking the groundhog off the
Don't drive angry. Don't drive angry.
So obviously, not as much action as Beverly Hills Cop. So I gave Beverly Hills Cop 66. I gave this 54. So definitely less. But
that's still quite a high level of action.
Still, I mean, if
Day.
you think about it though, there's still a lot of stuff that happens, like from the stuff that obviously that happens with Bill Murray, which is, not necessarily always the best action. You've got the kid falling through the thing, you've got the old guy, or the old lady, having a heart attack, whatever, so there's different types of action, I would say.
There's more explosions maybe in Jurassic, in Groundhog Day
than in Beverly Hills Cop.
He drives over the cliff,
probably.
doesn't he? Once and he blows
car
up.
Explodes.
I don't think there's any explosions in Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, the second car that he hits does blow up in the lorry. So
because they were keeping fireworks inside
it.
And then
soundtrack,
for soundtrack, I put 62.
It's a good soundtrack.
It's a good soundtrack, but like it's not exceptional, obviously, but
solid.
But
not fair enough then. Here we go.
You have any lines for the pod?
Yes. So I think this is a good one. That's we've almost already just made it real in life in just by talking about the scores today. So it is. Am I right? Or am I right? Or am I right? Right? It just takes us back to the romance versus action, doesn't it? So I thought that was quite funny.
Yeah.
And it's Groundhog Day, right? So you're saying the same word a million times as well. So
just keep on going.
In many ways.
Okay, do you wanna roll?
Yeah, well, this is good now. Like, you're right, we've worked this out really well because now it's pretty even. Anyone can win. Here we go. Soundtrack. So there you go.
There we go.
So finally, a banger comes through, and you're on a streak now, right? Oh,
yeah, that's two for two.
I told you there were.
It's the first time we've had soundtrack coming for quite a while as well.
And it rolled around in a nice, satisfying ASMR sound. It was lovely.
It's surround sound. Yeah. So that's 16-19 to you then. So I'm on the comeback trail.
I'm worried because I know how many bangers are left, so it's going to be concerning.
60-64, right?
Yeah, exactly. What did you have doing now then? Eddie Murphy's still making Axel Foley films.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, I mean Eddie's been sacked. The shenanigans just wouldn't, just wouldn't
the council bill. We can't keep paying this money.
But I did think Jenny could pick up the whole criminal business, and that she's now the mastermind of smuggling drugs in.
Nice.
It didn't get closed down. What did you have?
I just had like Foley's on like obviously the podcaster, as everyone is. So yeah, he's just like reliving his old police days, but like I don't know, eight different listeners or something. Rosewood becomes a firearms dealer. He just gets too addicted to them, and Taggart's retired, just plays golf. That's it. He's had enough. So yeah,
nice.
I think you have for
what would have to change is definitely the villain being a bit better.
What is it? Is it just 80s villains just weren't good? Because so far most of the ones we've come across have been bad, haven't they? And they also seem to all have been randomly really old as well. I don't know why we seem to think that old people become horrible people, but maybe it's an 80s trope that they're just bad villains.
No, I think old rubbish people. Those are the 80s villains. Damn those old
even
people.
Like Roadhouse as well, right? Roadhouse, the villain's not like great. It's just like psychotic. But I'd say the same.
Yeah, and then Eddie's definitely the best thing.
Best thing about it. Fun miles, by a long way.
Not that many 3-star reviews, but one
I guess a lot of 5 stars.
I thought was good. I watched this last night because I was in the mood for a blast of 80s nostalgia, and there are few films more 80s than this one.
Yeah, nice. It is good. It is very good. But that should be 5 stars, not 3.
5 stars, 80s. Where are you putting it then? It's it sounds like you're enthusiastic about it, but maybe not.
Does it beat the Roadhouse benchmark? That's the thing.
The Roadhouse
bar. Because obviously I was terrible at reordering these at the start, that I'm just reordering them live as we go along as well, just to make my life easier. So I've had to originally I had Kill Bill at 50, Roadhouse at 48, Zombieland at 42. I'm moving them all down 10. So Kill Bill's going to 60, Roadhouse is going to 58, and Zombieland's going to 52. Because I was thinking, I've looked at the bangers, and I'm like, what am I going to fill in between 70 to 50? I mean, I've still got to fill 70 to 60, so there's still stuff that's got to go in. So the question was, did I think this was better? Would I rather watch this again rather than Roadhouse? And I think yes. So I put it in as number 50. So it's now top of the pops.
Okay.
Yeah, so I thoroughly enjoyed it, and like you said, no, it didn't seem to age badly at all. Just felt like it was really good. So thoroughly enjoyed it. 50. So what about you?
Yeah, I had it at 66 actually in the very good section. Nice. So only The Insider, which I really like The Insider, but The Insider is the only one above it at the moment. So I presume that it will just keep rising as we go. But I thought it was really good. I thought it was, so much. I genuinely thought there was a bunch of nuance to it as well, which I wasn't expecting. But I think all of the characters do really well. I think Eddie is just he's just amazing that he gets the comedy but also gets the cop stuff. Yeah. So. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, right? Like, it's so many films, and we talk about like So Married an Axe Murderer, which is still good, but it's nowhere near as good as this. And I think that's because it goes more into the comedy side and less into the proper acting side. So we kind of lose that bit on Mike Myers, and I think you're right. He plays that so well. It's definitely a very hard thing to do. And you look at a lot of like comedians, I guess, that have now gone into films. Not everyone's brilliant at it, are they? So
so there you
go. Well,
cool.
On to next week.
What have you got for us next week?
I mean, it's going to be polarizing, but I would say it's a banger. So we move from 81 to 91. This is also interestingly described as a action comedy crime, But again, I would definitely say this is a comedy action film than the other way around. So we've gone from 105 minutes to 100 minutes, so just slightly shorter. But we went from 82 and 83 Rotten Tomatoes to 55 and 31. So, as I said, polarizing. And IMDb have even got involved. They've gone 5.7, so they've moved out of the 7 range. So 5.7.
We're in trouble.
7 explosions, 16 deaths, no animated characters. You either love or hate this film, I think. So here we go. A cat burglar is forced out of prison to steal Leonardo da Vinci's artifacts for a world domination plot. So
nice. That old genre.
Exactly, that old classic. Yeah. I want to write a film. What should we do? A great idea.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, we know if you know, you're going to tune in next week, and everyone else is going to skip a week. That's fine. We'll get the audience back the week after for the next one. Cool. Well, there we go. Another 80s classic. And onto the next. Thanks to Tom Miller for the theme song. And I think we'll just remember the good times of the 80s before we go back to the 90s.
Get some Axel F on the radio.
do 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 do.